And that is Before I Let Go. Scout's favourite song, she says.
Yes.
Or gets you pumped up. So I've got my own rugby playlist on Spotify. And when I'm doing my warm-up, I listen to that. Is that a type of song that you would listen to? Or that's just one of your favourites?
That's just a feel-good song for me.
Okay.
If I were going to do stuff, I like all genres of music. If I were going to to get prepared for a game, I'm putting on some hood stuff.
Sure, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Bang, bang, this, that.
Yeah, to get you into that mood.
To get me into that, ready to fight or something.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
This is a little too, sweet.
Yeah, okay,
You know what I'm saying?
I'll have to give it a listen. Never actually heard of it before, but there we go. Learn something new every day. Thank you, Scout. So, Scout, obviously we're going to touch base on where we finished off. Thank you ever so much for sticking around for a second episode. No 45 minutes is just not enough time with you, Scout. We're trying to get inside your brain, figure out why you're the greatest in Pittsburgh rugby, and we're trying to pick your brain. So the season is now concluded. The Forge season is over.
Unfortunately,
it was a disappointing end to the season. The girls went out to Cincinnati Celts, I believe, and they unfortunately lost out there, which puts kind of always such an anticlimax, isn't it? You're going out, big trip, and then it was an unfortunate defeat. And that was a game, unfortunately, you were unable to attend.
Right.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I missed both of our big games, and it just happened to be the timing. So the first one was when I was away with the in Colorado, and we played Buffalo. I think so.
North Buffalo, maybe. Yep.
And we lost that game, and
that kind of made them first seed in your league, wasn't it?
Right.
So that was a big game, even though it wasn't the playoffs, but it was if you won that, you would have been in a somewhat of a better position.
Top seed, and then I think we would have hosted a home game. We only had 2 home games.
Okay.
The playoff game would have been at home as well. We've been on the road every weekend for our games, and it just gets exhausting.
It does, yeah.
Long car rides. You want to have your family watch you.
Exactly, and it's pretty hard if it's up in Buffalo, right? That's quite a trip, yeah.
Also, it's freezing up there.
Exactly, yeah. And there's nothing up there either. I went up there before. We went up there, I can't remember for what reason.
We entered that tournament.
Oh, yeah. We did. We played rugby up there, yeah. I went another time when we went to, it was a wing fest. I don't know why. But we went all the way to Buffalo.
How about the chicken wing?
Yeah, it is, yeah. But it was a nice town, but yeah. It's
Buffalo Wings.
Buffalo Wings, yeah, that's where they came from originally. And they had this big stadium. I presume maybe it was in the NFL team stadium, Buffalo Bills. And we paid an entry fee, and then you got tickets, and everyone had a stand, and you tried who had the best wings. And then it was very American. The main event, so obviously all day you're walking around, you're trying different wings, you're going to buy a few drinks. The main event was a hot dog eating contest. America's culture at its best.
Why is that a thing?
I think, once you go to a hot dog eating contest, you're just a citizen. I think
that's right.
Wow,
Give me that.
Deport me or whatever.
Yeah. You don't want to be part of this. Exactly. So,
I'm sorry.
No,
and then
please.
Then this most recent game, I happened to go on vacation. I was in the Caribbean, and I missed both. Yes, it was very
Your culture is shit.
Where'd you go in the Caribbean?
The Dominican Republic.
Dominican, nice.
And they speak Spanish there.
They do,
Spanish.
yeah.
Oh, yo.
Yeah, so I was able to practice my Spanish. It was great. It just sucks that both weekends that I wasn't able to make were 2 of our biggest games, and we lost. But it's just.
But if someone said to me, you can go off to Cincinnati, Ohio, or you can go down to the Dominican.
Right.
I think you made the right choice, Scout.
Yes.
There was that huge controversy. A lot of people died in Dominican, wasn't it? They were drinking the bottles. Did you hear about that?
Yeah, I heard about that. And someone told me, I made it. I'm here to tell the tale.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah, it wouldn't put me off going at all.
No, not at all.
But I think it was along the lines of in the minibar in the hotel, people were drinking the alcohol and it was tainted, basically.
And I drank bottles out of the minibar.
Yeah, good for you.
And I
nice.
Off the swim-up bars, all of that. So I'm still here.
Good for you, yeah. So it was just a bit of a beach trip?
This was my first time staying because usually I'm big on cultural immersion.
Yeah.
I like to see how the locals are living.
Yeah.
Talk to them, be able to interact. This was my first time staying at an all-inclusive resort, and it was just a completely different experience for me.
Yeah.
So it was cool. So as you can imagine, I'm eating all the food that's there. All the alcohol.
Sure, and you were saying you're not a big drinker, but you're thinking it's all free at this stage.
But I'm give me more.
Exactly, yeah. And it was probably all cocktails down there, kind of sets on the beach.
Everything. I can't tell you how many shots of tequila I done had.
Yeah.
Their native drink, Mama Juana, which is supposed to be an aphrodisiac. I drank it.
Okay. Yeah, nice.
Like, I was just drinking.
Yeah. I always think of like rum when I think of the Caribbean.
Yeah, rum too. I actually didn't have as much there. But I mean, I was just ordering anything. Long Island's. I was just like, give me this, give me that,
exactly.
give me that. Free.
Yeah, we went down. It happened to be on a rugby trip, but we went down to Turks and Caicos, which is an island closer to Florida. But it was all inclusive, and I was of the same opinion. Not really into the all inclusive, because I wanted to go out and do other things. But like the main attraction was, I could walk into town and get some food, or I could just go into the restaurant and eat for free. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So it was just like catch-22 almost. I'm in this beautiful place. I should explore more. But home's got the free alcohol, so let's just go back to the house.
One story to go off of that. I was in Fiji earlier this year, actually, for rugby.
Girl. Wow.
And I'm so big on like trying new foods and stuff too. And one of the girls on our team was Fijian, actually. There were 2 girls. And we went to her village that she grew up in.
Sweet.
And her grandmother and family made us like a home-prepared meal. And I feel so bad saying it, but I did not enjoy the food at all. Like,
so,
at all.
You know, when I think of like, when people think of Ireland, they think of like, I would say meat, potatoes, 2 vegetables. That's the kind of thing. I went to Hawaii before, and I was really surprised at the food because it was a lot. I thought Japanese-based food. Sushi was really popular, and they kind of, But Fiji, like, I'm kind of would they have much grain even in Fiji?
So, like, again, we went to her village, so they're doing everything. Everything is homemade as far as like the irrigation system, the village, everything. So they're grinding everything. They grinded this root. I cannot remember what the name of it is, but it's a straight root that they go out and get. They grow. They're grinding it, and again, I just wasn't feeling it. I can't even remember.
So, but what do they do with it once they ground it? It's like a meal?
So you can make it into like you can make it into like a meal, or you can like just bite it. They like boil it, and then you can bite it, and it's kind of like chewy-ish.
There's something in Hawaii, and it's this other weird plant. It could possibly be the same because they're pretty close, aren't they?
It probably is.
Yeah, and
same.
they break it down, and and like people do different things with it.
The chickens, you'll see chickens running around all throughout the village. That chicken's gonna die soon. Cut off the head.
Yeah.
Like the chicken was fine. The chicken was okay. And then they had like seaweed. They had seaweed as a dish. But I just didn't. I just didn't like it that much. And also, I'm kind of like a germaphobe, and they use their hands a lot.
Yeah.
A lot. I mean, no utensils. You don't eat. You don't eat with utensils there either.
Yeah.
So, and I don't want to sound like I'm like insulting people in Fiji. This is just my own perspective. The bathroom, the bathroom doesn't have a sink in it at all. It's just a toilet. It's just a room with a toilet. And I was watching. Some of the people who live in the house and like who were preparing the food, they'd go to the bathroom and go straight to grinding up. So I'm like,
Scout, I went off to Thailand, and if you're a bit of a germaphobe, in Thailand there was a hole in the ground, a bucket and a ladle, and I can only presume the bucket of water and the ladle was your cleaning device.
Man.
So. It's nice to travel though, but Fiji in general was really nice. You're just saying the food was somewhat
Fiji's beautiful. I just didn't enjoy the food.
Yeah.
That's all. That was the one downfall of the trip. We made it far in the tournament. We made it to the semifinal.
And this was you playing with who?
I was playing with Scion Rugby.
Okay.
They are based in DC. This was a 7th tournament, and we lost to Tokyo's national team actually. And then in the final, it was Tokyo's national team and Fiji's national team, and that was a really good game to watch. Okay.
Yeah. I always think, like, I was quite surprised that obviously there was a World Cup going on in Japan. We actually sent a listener out there to give us a match report.
Oh, really?
Yeah, really, yeah.
Oh, that's
I'll talk to you more about that off the record. But yeah, one of our friends ended up going.
Cool.
We paid for Gator paid for it. But I was surprised that Japan, they did pretty well in the World Cup. I never, like, obviously in Asia, I don't really think they play too much rugby, but obviously they're the best. So I'm kind of surprised that the final was Fiji. I always think of rugby in Fiji, all them kind of Pacific islands.
Oh my goodness. And if you could see them play, it was like, one, just natural skill, two, it's just the cohesion was like something that you don't see U.S. teams have. Okay. It's like they know their every move. They just know what their teammate's going to do.
Let me ask you a question. You were 19 or so when you first started playing rugby. Is that the issue? They were all probably 6. playing when they were youngsters.
Exactly.
It's just they had 14 years more experience than Scout Cheeks, who's going out there representing America.
Exactly. So they know what every single goal to they just know the next step. They're thinking like 4 phases ahead. And it's like, to watch it, it's like, think of it as like poetry versus I don't know what genre of music. That's versus like pop. Versus, I don't know. That's a bad comparison. But it's just like the
poetry
symmetry
in motion,
of it is just crazy.
Yeah.
It was beautiful to watch. It was so cool.
And obviously, if America wants to compete at a high level, they kind of have to introduce rugby to the kids, don't they? Don't you think?
Oh my goodness, yeah.
I know, like the in Pittsburgh, the Harlequins, they had some youth development thing,
and the Forge does it too. Yeah.
Okay, with
really?
As young as elementary school kids, or
we're gonna have to ask Corey. Corey worked that with the Forge.
Okay,
all about
we
that.
will. Nice. But yeah, we'll touch base on that later. But so your season's over. Unfortunately you missed a few games. Any injuries take away from the season?
No.
Yeah.
I was recovering from an injury, my AC joint or SC joint. And in the beginning, like I missed this first scrimmage that wasn't a part of the official season.
Okay.
That I couldn't just because it was my shoulder, collarbone was just jacked up.
That's something you really need in rugby, isn't it?
Definitely. But fortunately, I was able to continue to play, and now I'm fine.
You're in flying shape. That's brilliant. And then Scout is so disappointed. We just heard about you. We have you on the pod, and then you inform us you're kind of moving out of the area pretty soon. You're moving off to Brazil.
I'm moving off to Brazil.
Yeah. Will you be able to continue playing rugby down in Brazil?
Hopefully, yes. That's the plan. I'm gonna find something regardless, but it just depends on where I'll be living, my placement.
Yeah.
And then from there, I'll find a team, even if I have to commute, if possible.
Perfect. You'll find something. You'll keep yourself
I'll find
active.
Something.
Good girl.
I will be.
And you were saying you went down there for about a year previously.
I was down there for 7 months.
7 months, lovely.
Previously, studying under a scholarship. So I was studying there, learning Portuguese. Just learning the area, learning the culture, and I was playing rugby for my university.
Lovely.
And then from there, like, some people on the team were like, oh, like, we have this girl, like, she's pretty good, blah, blah, blah. So then I went and was actually training with some of the Sevens girls from their national team.
Wow.
And that was cool to see as well. They have, like, a different playing style as well, too.
Yeah. And I can only go by what I see in soccer. Laid back, a lot more individual. Less hard-working? I'm not sure. What was it? Like, the Brazilian, the footballers, now it's become a thing that they have really good defensive midfielders, but previously they were all flamboyant, just give me the ball and I'll just do it from here, but if I have to track back or do any of the dirty work, I don't want to have any part of that. Was that the same with the rugby?
No, I wouldn't necessarily say it's individualistic. They definitely worked as a team, but like just in terms of like the structure of the practice, it's just way more laid back. Between like for example, like walking to a drill or like you'll explain it, they'll goof off a little bit, like, and then like, all right, let's get back, like let's get to it.
Sure, yeah.
It's just way more laid back. It's not as
That is kind of what I get the impression of Brazil in general, though. You know what I mean? It's just kind of that. Let's enjoy it.
Right. They still do what they need to do.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's just not nearly as just like the pressure.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And now, are you a type of person that you like that pressure? Was that a little bit too laid back for you? That seems like it would be right up my alley.
It depends. Like, I do like, again, how I said, I like to practice how we play. Yeah, so, for example, if running in between drills is going to increase productivity, we get there sooner, I'm all for that.
Yeah.
Actually, I will say, when it comes to, like, practicing, I want to get to it. Okay. And then we can relax and
afterwards. Yeah. We're here to work. Let's put in the work and then let's have... Yeah.
Exactly.
But for them, it was a little bit more blurred lines.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's amazing. So you went down there and you were playing a little bit of beach rugby?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I went up to Salvador da Bahia, my favorite place on earth.
Okay. So where's that? Northern Brazil?
That's in the northeast of Brazil.
And would that be coastal?
Yes. Yeah. Yep. Okay. So there's a beautiful, beautiful beach there. And I was only there for... It's so funny, like, how things just work out for me. I was there
Isn't
for...
it just
like,
I'm thinking that. Yeah.
Like, I was only there for, like, 3 or 4 days. All right? I don't know anybody there. And I'm just chilling, like, just admiring the view, just, like, sitting on the beach.
Yeah.
And then I see these girls... Mind you, in Brazil, soccer is everything.
Yeah, sure.
Soccer is everything.
Yep.
I see this team, these girls playing. I'm like, I see them passing the ball backwards. I'm like, wait, am I seeing? Like, is that actually it? Then I go and talk to them. I'm like, hey, what's up? Like, I play rugby too. And then they're like, come on, come play. And then before you know it, they're like, we actually have